Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of FTB Skies Let's Play. You may notice a few bit of different things, including the lag, but that's just because I've just opened the game and started recording. I've cleared out all of my create area right here because we are going to do something a little bit different between episodes and like all of the recording that I've been doing. I've noticed that I am very much not ready for RF power, either physically or mentally. Like I think I jumped ahead of myself a little bit. You can only sleep at night or during thunderstorms, so apparently it's not raining enough for me to be able to sleep. So I've noticed that I'm just not I'm not ready for this. So to fix that and to counteract that, give me just a second because I'm not hearing my game sounds. Okay, there we go. I just had my volume turned down super low for some reason into my headphones. Anyway, so create is going to be our step process because I'm trying to generate lava, but I'm pretty sure I'm not generating lava as fast as I need to use it. And these machines up here definitely cannot handle a low level of power. Even with like augments and stuff, I could probably take those out and it would slow down the process, but I would at least be getting something done. So that's gaining now. This is steady, and this is steady. So if I want to just bare minimum the level, I can do that. I can take the augments out. It'll process it slowly, but eventually all of this will get processed and sent into my system down here. So the alternative to that is create. So with create, I'm going to, so I did get a few things off camera. We'll go over those in a minute. But with create, so a mechanical press, eventually working our way up to the crushing wheel, and the crushing wheel then eventually feeding into a channel, washing and cleaning the ores, and then smelting them with fans and lava and all of that. So that seems like a better plan for me right now, assuming that this doesn't stay steady the way that it is right now, which it seems to be going okay, but it is also still quest lines. I think I should have probably taken the create route instead of doing this, but either way, dude, get out of my life, please. Just stop being a guy around when I don't need a guy around. Goodbye. I'm sorry that you had to see that, but it was a necessary evil. So yeah, this is going pretty well. So my plan was create, but if I can get this going super well, because create isn't going to get me anything different. It's not gonna ore double, it's not gonna ore triple, because that process doesn't super work in this. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna collect these. So this gets me into elemental craft. That was just one thing that I got because I ended up doing a bunch of crushed netherrack and stuff before I took down all of this stuff. So maybe that is something that we need to do. If we are going to still do resource production, we are going to need create so we can do sifting gravel, sand, dust, netherrack, dirt, all of that kind of stuff. So also my budding amethyst is going really well, so I do need to collect some of this because I know that I still need a few more amethyst meshes. And that's why I was letting these grow between episodes. Let me just make sure I get all the ones that are fully grown. That one up there is good. Alright, so that should get me the rest that I need for amethyst mesh. So every now and then, those will release endermites. So I've got an endermite molt, and every so often I'll get like endstone. So eventually we could also get into that. So that could be a reason to start or continue along with Create. So instead of doing the water wheels, we are going to instead do fluid tanks. And the way that fluid tanks work is you put fluid in the tank, and then underneath it you can put so it can either extract the liquid itself, or eventually when it gets down to here you can put redstone outputs, or eventually I don't know if it's going to show it, but eventually you can it would show that you can put so that's storing in fluid tanks. That's not 100% what I need, but point being, if you fill up a fluid tank with water, it can turn into a steam generator. So that is what we are going to do today. We're going to get deeper into Create, and we are going to work on a faster, more reliable source of kinetic energy through Create, and that is why we need... Alright, so what's holding you up here? Nothing? Okay. It looked like it was frozen for a second. So that'll get us more kinetic energy, that'll get us faster production. We have a mimic that has spawned. So let me try and find this guy really quick and get rid of him. You're not fooling anyone standing there. So these guys have been dropping interesting stuff, but it's really nothing that I need. So for example, what is this? That's just a scarf. So it's literally just something, it's decoration, but that's fine. Alright, so what we need before we can advance to the fluid tank, because the fluid tank needs copper plates, and copper plates come from either a multi-servo press or pressing through Create. So I'm just going to set up one tiny water wheel. It's going to be super slow, but I think one water wheel down here to get me started. And then once I get enough of the fluid tanks, it annoys me sometimes when it double clicks. It annoys me all the time when it double clicks, but sometimes it double clicks and that annoys me. So I'm gonna move this over here, and I'm gonna put my water wheel back up really quick. But instead of having 4, I'm just gonna do the 1 for now. I can maybe just still do the 4. Nothing is gonna hurt from doing the 4 water wheels. If anything, it will make it go slightly faster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just fill in this area. So that way water doesn't get out. I need to go back and grab my water buckets and refill. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and I missed. 4 will be all we need. So then we can make our mechanical press, which is pretty cheap. It just takes 1 shaft, an andesite casing, and a block of iron. So I think at some point I had some extra shafts left over. If not, they're kind of easy to make at this point. I've got a decent amount of iron and andesite alloy. So I have some shafts here. I don't have any. Oh, I do have an andesite casing. Cool. Look at me being prepared. And then 1 iron block is going to get me the mechanical press. And mechanical press is going to unlock a quest reward, and that quest reward is the depot. So the depot is what you need to put the items on to be able to press them. So could I potentially just delete this and put you here? I could, but that kind of seems dangerous being right there on the edge. I also think it needs to be at least 1 block away. Like 1 block above the depot. So in that case, we will... Do I have any gearboxes? Did I make those beforehand? I did. So I will go vertical gearbox. So I know that you can make like conveyor belts. So let me try and find mechanical belt takes dried kelp. How do I get regular kelp? From... I should actually have some. Do I have some kelp up here? I do. So I'm actually going to just put this in my redstone furnace really quick. Smelt that up. So yeah, these guys do now seem to be holding a pretty steady charge now that I've taken the augments out of them and they're not draining too much power. So hopefully I've got enough of kind of a backlog of lava down here, because I'm assuming it's producing a little bit faster than it's burning. So hopefully that is the case. So that dried kelp is going to get stuck over there, but eventually I can go and just pick it up. Once I get enough of this, we will start making conveyor belts, so then that way we can stretch out the amount of energy that we have across farther distances. So I will be right back once we get some belts. Alright, so while the kelp is finishing up, which I think it just did, I was going to go ahead and also make myself a mechanical whisk. I was going to, but then I realized I needed iron plates for that, and I also need iron plates to make the fan. So I think the mechanical press is the only thing that we can do right now. So now let me go up here. Actually, I think I can just reach it from here. Let me grab the kelp. And then kelp makes the belts just by doing that. Awesome. And these belts can then be stretched like between two shafts. So let me grab the rest of those. And I don't think they have to actually be connected to anything. They just have to be like on the same level. So let me go out to maybe here, but you need to be vertical. Can I rotate you with anything? Can I grab my crescent hammer, which isn't in this chest? The next step is going to be digital storage, I promise. I just need some stuff from Create to be able to get to the point. But eventually we will get to digital storage. Okay, so I can do that. So I'm going to stretch you. Kelp drive. Okay. Actually, with this vertical gearbox right here, that has a thing on the side as well, and on the bottom. So, where do I want my mechanical press to live? It needs to live up high enough. That's probably sticking out the top, or it's just absorbed into the block. Doesn't really matter. And then the depot needs to go here, and I think that's high enough. So if I rotate you, or break you, I didn't mean to do that. So can I rotate you? No. Okay. But if I do that, I can rotate you. That's fine. So that needs to be powered from right here. So can I... Alright, so luckily all of that goes back into my inventory, so we're good there. You need probably a shaft there. Which means I could probably do that. And now you're powered. Cool. So I do need to probably expand this out a little bit more. So let me just grab a little bit of coppable. I was trying to say copper and cobble at the same time because I realized halfway through I was messing up on my words. So this needs to go here. And then I am just going to take it out like one more. And then probably build it around this water. And then just to stop that from falling into the void. I don't know if stuff falling into the void causes lag, but better safe than sorry, I guess. All right, so now I need, first of all, I need food. I can eat kelp. I can eat dried kelp. Because why not? And then I still have enough to make more of these. So that's fine. So what do I need for my... So I need copper for this, and I need iron for this. And that just also needs a barrel. So let me go ahead and grab copper. And you will slowly bonk. But I think that only does one at a time. It does. Okay, so... Achievement get bonk. So you see how slow this is? That's why I need to speed it up. So I want to make maybe, let's say 4, 8, let's say 12 of these. So I'm going to need 12 copper. So let me go ahead. I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that should get me... And I can do that as well. Okay. So then let me put you away so I don't accidentally bonk you. Alright, so the next thing to get would be a spout and a deployer. And then next thing here would be a mixer. So a spout would get me another depot. Basin comes from a mixer that gets me cinder flour and a salad. So then a blaze burner. So here's the big thing that I learned between episodes. I'm trying not to be super influenced by other like YouTubers and other people that have done FTB Skies series because I know that there's a lot of them out there. However, I discovered that this fell pumpkin right here can be used to make a blaze. Who knew? I sure as heck did not know. And then I can also make that with rotten flesh, bone, string, and gunpowder. The only thing I don't currently have are bones. A crushing macerator gets me... That's interesting. How do I make one of these? Compressed cobblestone, stone cutter, flint block. I could maybe use this. Because I don't have any kind of monster generation right now. I should probably look into that. But if I've got pigs and stuff over here that I can just make and I can crush down into like bones and stuff. Yeah. Well, so while that's all pressing down there, let's grab. So it was a copper nugget. It was compressed. So it was from cyclic. Or was it called cyclic? I think it was from cyclic. Crushing macerator. So 2 copper nuggets. Got compressed cobblestone, which comes from stone. So let me get... Let's just start with the stack and we'll see how many we need. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Which you get 4 from just 1. Cool. So let me put everything back. Let me get these back. And then it needs stone cutter, which is 3, and it needs 2 of those. So where did all of my stone go? I know I didn't use all of it. Oh, okay. I was like, what? Clear grid. Okay, cool. So I need 2 pieces of iron because I need to be able to make this. 2 stone cutters. A flint block, which is the only thing I don't have. How much flint does that take? Flint, and I can get flint from the crushing macerator, funny enough. Can I get it from the pulverizer? I can. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to throw at least 9 pieces in the pulverizer. And then I can just put you back in there to get smelted up in a minute. Is it a 100% chance? And then it gets sand, which can be turned into glass, which that's fine with me. So I just need 9 of these. But it's not a 100% chance. Okay. So we'll wait until this flint comes up, and then we will be good to go. Alright, so I added a gear and a smaller gear because I forgot that that would actually speed up the process a little bit. So it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's also not the slowest thing in the world like it was before. So I need a spot that I'm going to build my fluid tank, which I think is probably just going to end up being right here. The only problem with that is that now I need to take down my water wheels again. Or I cut a hole in the middle of this. So I can either clear this out, or, because I am going to need some stuff still made, so I'm not going to tear this down just yet, but I will go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I just need more of those. So I need a few more barrels. I keep forgetting if it's left click or right click on that. And I'm sure it is just as annoying for you as it is for me. So let's go all the way around. Let's go boom, boom. Some more barrels. Gets me some more fluid tanks. And then 1. Did that just automatically filled all of that in? Awesome. I am probably still going to need more copper though, because I do know that now I need to make the fluid pipes, which are up here. So fluid pipe needs a bunch of copper, so I just need to start pressing up some more copper. So once I feel like we have a significant amount of copper, we will be right back. All right, so to start with, I'm just doing campfires because it's cheap and I don't have blazes. At the moment, I can get 1 from that fell pumpkin, but I'm not going to bother with it right now. So I just need a way now to pump water into this. So that's why I made some more of this. So it is just 1, 1, 2, makes a fluid pipe. And this fluid pipe can then be pumped into it using this. So I just need 1 fluid pipe and a cogwheel. And I think I have a few more cogwheels. I do. So a pipe and a cogwheel gets me a mechanical pump. So with that, I can go like and then have like a mechanical pump there, and then that can be a water source. Which means I do need to go and grab some more buckets of water, to at least 2, to make an infinite water source. Oh, that needs to go down 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have any buckets of water on me? I have buckets on me, but not of water. So I just need 2 buckets of water from up here. Give me an infinite water source, like so. I'm gonna put 1 more cogwheel down for now, and then I'm gonna get my mechanical crank, which I had in here somewhere. Hand crank, that's what it's called. I'm gonna put my hand crank here, and then I'm just gonna see if that goes. It does. So that'll fill up with water. And eventually should fill up with like steam and stuff. That part I'm not 100% sure of. I know that I need goggles, which needs brass. Oh no, actually I'm sorry, it needs gold. I thought it needed brass. I thought that was what I was working towards. So I could have made this a long time ago. You can like change this to be able to see through it, right? Yeah. But not on the curves. Alright, so that shows that it's working. Alright, so once that gets full, we'll do the thing. But I do need this back. And I just need a piece of string and 2 glass. So I've got some glass right here. 2 glass. And do I have any string? If not, I should have some flax somewhere. I have 1 piece of string. That gets me... You can't click from there. So that gets me this, engineer's goggles. Fantastic. So now I can see what's all inside of stuff. So... Is there anything special I need to do to this? Am I even using the right thing? Okay, so the steam engine turns the fluid tank into a steam engine tank thing. So I just need to make... I knew I had seen it somewhere, so I just need to make a steam engine, which is a gold plate, andesite alloy, and a block of copper. So gold, block of copper... and an andesite alloy, so that's just going to be 2 of you, and 2 of you. Gets me an andesite alloy. Put that away. You, gets me you, and you just need to get crushed or pressed. And that gets me a steam engine, and this steam engine can just be placed here. and then that turns this whole thing into a thing. So it just needs more water in it. So to do that, I am going to take another break for a minute. We will crank this until this fills up. Can I still make this see-through? I cannot. Okay, so I'm just going to have to go by this gauge over here to see how much water is in it. Okay, so the water eventually gets burnt out, so I'm going to need a way to like manually insert water into it, which I know a way to do that is I can take this and attach it here, and that gets me a mechanical arm, and then eventually, or not, yeah, just the steam engine arm, and then eventually once I get enough steam in that, it's going to start moving, but eventually that's going to slow down and stop. So from that, from the steam engine, I can then attach other, so that makes that. Click the engine with a shaft, creates kinetic output, do that, sufficient water and heat and boiler space will generate rotational force. Minimal requirement is 4 fluid tanks. And then I can heat that with help of a blaze burner. Power output can be increased. And then I can increase the size as well. Can be seen with the engineer's goggles. And then eventually I can just make a bunch of those. So I can attach gears and like gearboxes and stuff to that. So, how does one make a gearbox again? Gearbox is 4 cogwheels and an andesite casing. And a cogwheel, I believe, is just that. So 4 cogwheels and an andesite casing gets me a gearbox. This gearbox is then going to sit right here. Actually, could I make that vertical? It's going to be a vertical gearbox that's going to sit right here, that I can then break this. I can attach you here, and then hopefully I can go across the ways from you to you. Is that too weird of an angle? That might be too weird of an angle. Okay. So what if I just did... So let me get some more andesite alloy. Which I can then use to make shafts, which I can then use to make a few more cogwheels. I can just do that for now. I know this is proof of concept for right now. So I do need to put one more here, and I do need to hand crank for a minute. So then that will do that, and will that keep water? No. So the input needs to be greater than the output. So unless it burns... So as long as it keeps burning off that water, it's not going to work. So can I shrink you down a little bit? And we'll just feed in. Like a little bit right here. So that way it doesn't need a lot of water. This is really just proof of concept, and then eventually I will... No. So it needs a bit more water going into it than I am getting out of it. Ah, okay. But I don't think that part matters. So it's size versus heat versus output. And eventually that's going to slow down and probably burn out all of its water. Yeah. All right, so I need to just play with this for a little bit. I think maybe putting a large cogwheel here might be sufficient, because then I can increase the speed of the output. But we will try that. I don't know how long. I know how long I've been recording. I don't know how much of this has been usable. So we will see where we are and then see if we need to come back. But I think I've got enough. So we'll just call this a wrapping up point. This might be a little bit of a shorter or slightly longer episode than I'm used to. But other than that, I will see you later.